I'm Tammy Wolf. We're here at Day 2 of IT Expo East 2012 in Miami, Florida. I'm joined today by Shai Berger, CEO of Fonolo. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
So, it's the end of the hold as we know it.
Yes, that's the name of the announcement we put out, the end of the hold as we know it. And our mission is to make sure that no one ever waits on hold again, because it's really an outdated concept.
So how are you doing that? You've had a new product this week announced.
Yeah, the solution to waiting on hold is something called virtual queuing. And even if you've never heard that term, it's really a pretty obvious concept. If you call in and all the agents are busy, they should give you an option to get a call back when the next agent is available. And that's not a new concept. We didn't invent that. That's been around as a concept for over a decade, really. But it's been really hard to implement. And so it remains quite rare in the industry. And there's two main reasons why it's so rare. The first is that it's been complicated to set up and install. And so for a lot of call centers, it just wasn't worth the effort. And so when we first released our product back in 2009, we took care of that complexity problem by delivering it to the cloud. This is an entirely cloud-based solution. So the call center didn't have to change anything to add virtual queuing. And so that was a real breakthrough for the concept of virtual queuing, and it's really gained a lot of traction. And what we're announcing today at the show is that second barrier, which is cost. And it's always been pretty expensive to add virtual queuing. And on top of the expense, it's been kind of a complicated thing to budget for, because it usually is based on how many calls you do or how many minutes you do, and then that gets kind of turns into a tricky conversation. So we're making it really, really simple. Our new pricing is $10 per agent per month. So if you want to know how much virtual queuing will cost, count how many agents you have, and there you go. You can't get any easier than that, and we think this is really the breakthrough the industry needs to make virtual queuing ubiquitous.
Great. Well, it's, the virtual contact center is becoming such a big trend nowadays. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're seeing in terms of demands from contact centers needing to go to the cloud instead of on-premise? Yeah,
I mean that is a big trend in the call center world, and so now you've got a lot of smaller call centers going to the cloud. You've got bigger call centers either remaining on-premise or kind of splitting between the two. You've also got a lot of big call centers that are multi-site, so they've got a call center in one city and another in another city for whatever reason. You've got a lot of companies outsourcing at least some of their call traffic, either overseas, for lower cost, or after hours they've got to go to another call center. So the net sum of all of that, all of those trends really add up to one simple fact, which is that a typical call center is remaining a pretty complicated environment. And so adding a feature like visual dialing, which we do, virtual queuing, pre-call questions, post-call survey, all of these features that have been around for a long time, adding them in the call center environment is staying pretty complicated. And so our idea from day one was, whatever way you've built your call center, on-premise, in the cloud, outsourced, in-house, whatever way you do that, you should be able to add these advanced features without touching that equipment.
Right.
And that's the core concept behind Fonolo.
Well, sounds very exciting. So I know that you did some panels this week, so I want to talk a little bit about that.
Well, yesterday's panel was about the smartphone and the call center, which is another big trend.
Yes.
And it was very well attended, standing room only, so I think it's a topic that a lot of people are interested in. And there's a lot of angles there, but I guess if I wanted to boil it down to one thing, it's really about this generational shift where 10 years ago, when the web first became a really viable self-serve platform, we all sort of changed our behavior where we go to the web first.
Right.
Can I do what I need to do there? Can I change my reservation? Can I track the package? And if not, then I'll call the call center. And what's happening now with the proliferation of smartphones, especially with the younger generation, the first choice is the phone. Do I have an app for my airline? Okay, then I'll change my reservation there. If I can't do that, then I'll go to the web, and then call centers, calling the 800 number. So the smartphone, especially for this next generation of consumers, that is their primary, window into your customer service. That's where they want to be first. I mean, it's always on hand, and it's a really great interface. So companies are understanding that's where they've got to be, to deliver good customer service.
Right.
And the problem is that connecting that to the call center is still a difficult thing. Typically today, I might have the app for my bank on my phone, right? Mm-hmm. So I can go in, I check the balance, I can make a payment. If I have a problem, I need to talk to someone, all they show me in the app is the phone number, and then I tap it, and what happens? It's just a regular old phone call. So you're kind of throwing away all the smarts in the smartphone, and you're making a regular old call, and that's, that's not a very efficient use of that, of the opportunity. So what the panel is all about, and what I think is going to be a really big trend for the next decade, is teaching the call center to really make use of all the things a smartphone can do, like gather your information ahead of time, show you, get your place in line for an agent, show you on the phone where you are in line, get the call back when the agent's ready, and really make that process better for the caller and more efficient in the call center.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Shai.
Oh, my pleasure.